after painting the top coat, we moved on to the masking. Now, I'll move forward with the masking because, to be honest with you, it's a bit fiddly to do in front of the camera. Because being a two-tone, and also I've got this dividing line here, I had to get that right, and moving around with my hands and everything else, it would have got in the way. So, it's all masked up. Okay, now I will give you one or two tips, if you like. I mean, I'm not professional by any means, but the key thing I've learned about masking is to make sure you take your time and you've got your edges are flat. They've got to be flat, especially on this dividing line. Now this divide, if I can get it into focus, there you go. This dividing line here, there's like a trim bead goes right through here. Now, as you can see, I've got the masking as flat as I possibly can along this edge. Now I use this toothpick to go in along there, get the crease at the top, and then, then rub it along the edge to get it as flat as possible along that edge. Because once you start spraying, and it's surprising where this stuff gets, it gets up underneath and everywhere, and you'll peel it off and you think, oh, flipping it, look at that, what a mess. This, on this particular casting, this line here is virtually touching the wing. So I've gone, you can see the mark there where it's in close, and I have to cut a shape here with a sharp scalpel just to cut it off. And then at the front here, there's just a little bit where it's coming there, across there. But that is all important that you get. If you're doing a two-tone, you must get the dividing line flat as you possibly can. Use the back of a paintbrush, the handle of a paintbrush, sorry, because it's quite smooth, or these toothpicks, they're quite smooth. If you use anything rough, you're liable to pull up the edge and make that rough. So try and keep it as smooth as you can. Now I haven't done, now this particular casting, the red or the burgundy comes in this little area here, which is a bit awkward. That's the rear light, that's the bumper. I'm not bothered about masking the rear light or the bumper because I've got it painted separate colour anyway. There's a lot of fiddling about trying to get around here. So that's that. Wheel arches. If you're going to put your tape in, make sure you cut your tape away from under your wheel arch, because when you spray and you forgot to take masking tape out and you finish, you've got a big patch there of an undercoat. So make sure you do that. And this particular model, because it's got no glass or anything, I didn't want any of the darker paint coming up through the window, even though it's masked on here. If I didn't put that inside, the chances are that you get the darker colour spray on the pillars on the inside. So always make sure you do that. And I think that's about it, really. Double check before you spray that there's no gaps that you've missed anywhere. I did find one myself actually a minute ago. Where was it? Keeps going out of focus, sorry, because I've got the camera in front of me this time. I'm just trying it out in front of me to see how I go. But you've got to keep waiting for it to focus. Just there, I'm making sure in a minute when that's flat, which it is flat really, but it's just where there's too much tape on. But yeah, just double check, take the time, double check, make sure there's no gaps in it, because believe you me, you'll be mega naffed off when you pull it all apart and think, oh, look at that. I mean, I'm no guarantee this is going to work. I'm a bit of a novice at masking, but that's a better focusing, like, as you can see now. Look. Yeah. All right. So that's what we're going to do. Hopefully, fingers crossed. So a little bit underneath there. There's a little bit. I'll just trim that little bit off. See that little bit there? When I painted that, that'll be a lighter colour underneath there, because this is high up at the front. So I've got to make sure the dark colour goes all in there, because it's as I showed you earlier on, this is high up at the front of the axle, and you'll see all that if I don't paint it. So that'll have to be done. I'll just trim that back. Okay, right, I'll leave it there and I'll trim that up and then we'll get on to painting it. Now for the got the spray booth on, and now we're going for the bottom half of the colour. Burgundy red. Give it a shake up. See how we go. Okay. Forceps at the ready. Now I tend to find, if you've got masking on, try and spray away from the masking if you can. I'll give it a light coat. Hope you can see this. I'm trying to get it so you can see it. The camera's not exactly the best position. Underneath there. Okay, I've got it all. Down the bottom. Pretty much. Okay, right. Let this dry overnight and see what we got. I've removed the masking tape because I did it off camera because it was going to be really hard to get it on camera, chucking things about. So this is what we got. This is what we ended up with. It's not too bad. Not too bad. The casting's a bit rough around this here, around this area here. But yeah, all in all, it's pretty good. I've done the tail lights because they were fiddly. Because you've got to lean against things and whatever. So I've done the tail lights on this. So now, this is what we got. So now, we've got the base here. I've masked the wheels up, so I'm going to shoot a bit of black on there. 2 seconds, and then let that dry. And then I've got the chrome to paint. I'm going to use Tamiya's X11 chrome silver. Okay, so just give me 2 seconds. Just have a look. And I'll be 2 seconds, and I'll just paint this. Right, there you go. Bit of black on there. So I'll let that dry now. Okay. I'm going on my fingers, so we're all right. Right, now. This might be a bit tricky for me to do it on camera. I've seen other people do it on camera, but it might be a bit tricky for me to do. Looking, because I've got the camera in front of me this time, so I'm going to give it a go. If I find it a bit difficult, because to be honest with you, I wear glasses and I do struggle sometimes to see the details, so I might stop part way through and finish it off off camera. Okay. All right, I've got a number 1 brush. and we'll give it a go. So we'll see what happens. Up to now, it's not too bad. It's going on smooth. Some of these Tamiya paints, especially the XF ones, they dry really quickly on your brush. So you have to be careful and mindful of that. I don't like to mix enamels and acrylics. And there is a rule, but I can't remember what it is, whether you can put enamels on top of acrylics or vice versa. I can't really remember, but so I try to tend to use all I can. I mean, I've got an acrylic gloss coat, so I'll be using that. If I was using a Molotov pen, I'd lacquer it first. I've done that in the past, because if you put the Molotov on and then lacquer it, it tends to dull the chrome work down. So I tend to do it after I've lacquered it. And not only that, if you do go over a little bit, it's easier to wipe it off. Really is. And I tell you, you got a bit of a shaky hand going on here, but so there we go. I used to have a really steady hand, but not these days. Not these days. Old age. Old age. Just checking where to go is the best place to go. I got my hands in the way now, haven't I? I've got to get underneath there. Talk to me. Tell me a story. And no, I don't stick my tongue out while I'm concentrating. It's surprising how many people do when they concentrate. They make funny gestures. They really do. My wife does when she's concentrating. Right, we're getting there. Alright, what I'm going to do, I'll give you a little demo of how I do it. I'm going to do this off camera now, because otherwise it's going to take me all flipping day. I'll be here forever, and the video will be about 4 hours long. So I'll come back when it's done. Alright, there's the bumper, the grille, the lights, and see these flashes down the bonnet. I'm going to attempt to do those as well. Okay, so I'll catch you when I've done those. That's it, done then. Done all the silver. Get this round so you can see it. Not too bad. I've done the flutes on the bonnet, as you can see. I don't know if you can quite see that. I didn't go spend a lot of time messing around in there, because otherwise it's going to come up and get all over the bonnet. So the lacquer will bring that up into a shine. So that's the front. It's quite nice actually. I like that. And the back, which is basically the bumper at the back. I did look online about the back. Some people paint the whole number plate silver and this other bits, but the ones that I saw original didn't have any of that painted, just a bumper. So there you have it. So we'll let that dry properly, and then yeah, a coat of lacquer, a couple of coats of lacquer actually I think on this one, and then we'll put it back together again. Yeah. Okay. There you go then. See you soon. After the silver was painted, as you can see from the last clip, all the silver, so we're ready now to put it together. I've given this 2 coats of clear lacquer as of the base, so we've got the tyres and rivets, and we're all ready to put it back together again and get this out of the way. I've mixed up some glue for the rivets. It's a bit cold in there today, so I need to get a wiggle on, or else it's going to go solid. Okay. All right, we'll get the tyres on first. That's one. Yeah, there we go, we're getting them on now. Yeah, the weather's take a turn for the worse. It's a bit of nearly a frost last night. Temperature's really plummeted. It's quite cold actually this morning. So, right, that's the base. Let's get it on. Yeah, make sure it's the right way up. Well, I've done it before and put it round the other way and made a mistake. So that's the base. Okay, get some glue in there for the rivets. Trying to get it, it's a bit stringy. We'll get it in there. Drop that in there. Better put a bit more in actually. Oh, that's too much on it. Let's get that in there. That's it. That should hold it. Drop this in. Avoiding getting the glue on my fingers. I better get something to push that down with. That'll do. That's one. Oh, get it in shot. Oh. Yeah, it's a bit. Make sure you don't get this all over. And here we go, last one. Put that in there. Push it down. Push it firmly down. There you go. Wheels are spinning. Okay, put that on there for a second. Right. I'm going to move this, or else I'm going to put the sleeve in it and the glue, and I don't want to do that. Right, so that's it. Basically, it's finished. It is finished. I'm looking for my turntable. I can't flipping find it. I'll put it out. It's way over there. I'm not going to go get it. Right, so I'll turn this, flip this over, and you can have a look. All right, here we go. It's over. That's it. So I think it's come out quite nice. Just have a look at it for a second. Good boy. Good boy. Come out of the way. Watch your feet. It's alright, the dog's sits right behind me sometimes. He can be a right pain. I just need to run him over with my chair. Right, okay. Not being prepared, was I really? And here we have it. Vauxhall cresta. Dinky. I'm not going to handle it too much until the base is solid. But yeah, I think it's come out quite nice. What a nice tool as well. You can probably see that bit, I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, so done the hubs and everything on it. There you go. Quite nice that. So that's another one finished. That's, I think now 20, this is the 22nd. The 22nd one I've done. 22nd one I've done. I've noticed on some of these, I'll just spin that round, that here, on a lot of images I looked at Google, and ones I've seen previous, here, it's quite a bad casting actually, where that curves down and that fender, or we call it fender bumper, fender wing, joins there with that casting line there. It's not a pretty. But I've seen quite a few of them and they're all very similar, so I think if I do another one of these, or if I advise anybody else they're doing one of these, there's not a lot of room to get a file or sandpaper in between those two, that trim piece, that curve and that wing, and it's a bit mucky in there. That's the only thing that lets it down, I think, but apart from that, it's nice. Well, thanks for watching. I appreciate any comments, good or bad, as long as you don't go stupid and you know, and whatever, because there is some people out there who like to go overboard with the criticisms. Yeah, I know it's not perfect, but what is? Okay, thanks very much then for watching, and look forward to another one. And in fact, the other one might be, I haven't decided yet, but it might be this. I'm not sure yet. It might be that, or it might be these. I've not made my mind up yet. Okay. There you go. All right. So thanks for watching. Cheers for now. Bye.